Hello, bonjour. My name is Sophie Gipia-Posey, your resident French expat living in France, originally from Venezuela, having lived in the US for 25 years. So today we are going to dive into more of the stories inside my sci-fi magical realism collection, the Inside Out Worlds. There is a free promotion going on my book funnel. You can find it in the link on my profile. In the meantime, I would like to read to you an excerpt of Full Integration. It's a vampire meets sci-fi story, and the idea for it came from all this evolution of mankind and expected progressions in AI and that sort of thing. And then I thought, if you were a supernatural creature like a vampire, and they don't evolve, but we do as mankind, that would be a bit problematic, wouldn't it? So this is a story that was inspired from that. So I'm going to read to you the first part of the story. Full Integration. I was one of the last to be bitten and one of the last to sire vampires. Over centuries, my brothers, sisters, and fledglings all died. I was hanging on, but only just. I was the only one left who had turned. I was made in the 23rd century, but it still wasn't enough to survive the quickening evolution of humankind. They had evolved. We hadn't. The death knell has struck. Humans have found a way to permanently leave the Earth and colonize the Milky Way. I shall starve to death, the worst death for a creature like me, complete disintegration. When I was turned, human bodies couldn't integrate with technology yet. That meant I could still feed on their blood. But now, even if I follow the humans, which I couldn't without some adaptive technology that won't work with my body, I will not be able to feed because humans don't have blood anymore. The humans are leaving because they have destroyed their planet. They can explore the Milky Way. They have already sent expeditions with zero failure to nearby and faraway planets. I cannot keep drinking the blood of rodents and other small animals. There are precious few left, and their blood has become toxic. I stiffened as a slow, pulsating beat called to my desiccated, dying senses. A beat that I followed around the renovated Franz Liszt Academy of Music. I avoided the random groups of people laughing or staring straight ahead, immersed in the neural neighbor network, invisible to the naked eye. The pulsing was small, and I homed in on it, ignoring the almost alive feeling of a few old architectural buildings that hadn't been destroyed. I saw the backside of a little girl, her auburn hair down to her waist, a floral skirt brightening the dimness of this manufactured autumn day over the city of Budapest. I gave a secret thanks to the creator of Ebulia technology, who created artificial climate bubbles around the world to give citizens a semblance of natural cycles. For a vampire, that means day holds no threat anymore. I smoothly trailed behind her, her frame dwarfing mine. I made no sound, taking advantage of my evolution-cheated smaller body, not needing to crouch at all like I used to on my hunts 1,000 years ago. I finally felt like a predator again. It had been too long. The little girl paused and put her hands to her ears. A thrum emanated from her, which I recognized as reception of a message through the neural neighbor network directly into her brain. I scanned around us. No parents, no friends close to her. The few people present stood stock still, the same sound emanating from them. Perfect. My vampire instincts kicked in. The air folded around me and snapped like a clap, though I knew no sound came with it as I dashed to the girl, put a hand over her mouth, and whisked her away to the top of a Mados hotel. As soon as I released her, my head spun, and a general tingly feeling prickled my entire body. My fangs erupted, tearing through the shrunken, shriveled flesh of my gums. Hunger. My stomach clenched furiously, painfully racking my abdomen. My lips quivered with anticipation. Before the little girl could scream, I sank my teeth into her soft throat hard enough to pierce her voice box. She twitched violently, arms and knees flailing. My tongue curled as the artificiality of her blood struck, too late, but some actual human fluid was still interspersed in the AI plasma, so I drank as deep and hard as I could, even though I knew the AI plasma would weaken my state and not satisfy my hunger. A little blood was better than none at all. I easily held her down as she continued her struggle. Her slate gray eyes widened and her pupils dilated as her body went limp. The beating of her heart stopped, and I was seized with curiosity. I punched through her ribcage and reached for her heart. My spirit sank as I regarded the object's silicone walls, its now still chambers. It was the size of a large grapefruit and quite lifelike in my hand. It had fooled me. I had known there had been complete artificial heart technology for a few decades now, but only adults had been able to enjoy the procedure for transplanting a heart that would keep them alive for 2 centuries minimum. Children were too young to undergo such a delicate, risky procedure. But the tech had improved, and I guess so had the consent laws regarding full artificial conscience transplant. Now I couldn't even feed on children anymore. Feeding on children, I had promised myself many moons ago that I would never stoop to that. 1,000 years ago, I had been young and thought I was God. I had fed on a pack of young refugee children and a pregnant woman. We were dying and alone. I hadn't needed all their blood, but once I killed one, I couldn't allow the others to live. The guilt stayed with me as my bloodlust lessened over the centuries. They could have survived. And yet, here I was. I had broken my own code. This girl I had just killed could have survived. Her death barely served me. My hunger had hardly been touched. I touched the ring on my index finger with 6 notches on it. I brought it to my mouth and added 1 more notch. So I'm going to stop here. Again, if you like the story and would enjoy similar stories of sci-fi and magical realism, the link is in my profile to claim your free copy of the book. And if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, you can. So let me know, have you guys read other stories where you have vampires or even other supernatural creatures in a sci-fi futuristic setting like this? So if it's book or short stories, feel free to drop it in the comments and let me know. Thank you. Bye.